Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendall Johnson, and for my information presentation, I was assigned to the postmodern literary theory. To start off, this theory is very wide-ranging. It goes past literature, so it's kind of difficult, but I'm going to try my best to explain it the way that I learned and the way that I interpreted it. So to start, the definition of postmodernism is a general and wide-ranging term which is applied to literature, art, philosophy, and cultural and literary criticism. Postmodernism came right after modernism, hence why it says post. Modernism combined traditional values, beliefs, ideas, and then other differing concepts, where this is just more of individual concepts, what you think by yourself about certain things. So postmodernism is post because it denies the existence of any ultimate principle, and it lacks the optimism of there being a scientific, philosophical, or religious truth. So basically, in simple terms, like I said, is it just denies that there is a definite definition for something or a certain way to do something, and that there's a definite truth to something. So for some key information, postmodernism was not the first kind of theory to rebel against cut and dry beliefs. It happened during the Enlightenment era with Romanticism, Modernism, Post-structuralism, and basically what they all ended up doing is they all just challenged the beliefs. So during the Enlightenment era, a lot of people religiously thought that there was only one religion to go for, and during that time it just kind of challenged it and said that religion can't, prove this. So the postmodernism term was made famous by Jean-Francis Lyotard in 1979 in his book The Postmodern Condition, where he talked about different theories, and since he was a theorist of postmodernism, he put his own conclusions and his own concepts to them. And so some quotes that I found about this theory is there was one from there was one that talked about how if you know what a paradigm is, then you'll understand this, but I'll explain it. That postmodernism is like a paradigm, and what a paradigm is basically it's like a loose set of values where there are some resemblances, but then again there are also individual concepts, so not everything is always perfectly put, like I said. Another quote which talked about children's literature with postmodernism is postmodernism picture books allowed for there to be kind of relationship between text and images together, which really kind of helps since we just finished the children's picture books unit. It basically had allowed children to think out of the box, to see things that weren't really there, and allowed authors and adults to see that as well, and show that. So to my example, I chose Dr. Seuss because I felt like he's one of the most well-known children's authors out there, and since we're doing children's literature, I thought I might as well connect it. So I have 3 different examples. The first book I've never read and I've never even heard of, but I found it in an article and it really does help. So the book is called Beyond Z. And in the book, the character says, "In the places I go, there are things I see that I never could spell if I stopped at Z. I'm telling you this because you're one of my friends. My alphabet starts where your alphabet ends." So basically how this connects to postmodernism is instead of there being A through Z like normal, this character has an alphabet that starts after Z. So he has a whole made up more to the alphabet than what we see. So and then another book which I thought was a Dr. Seuss book, it's not. It's actually by Robert Lopshire. It's called Put Me in the Zoo, and it has to do with this bear here. He comes in with red spots and he goes to the zoo and he's like, I want to be in the zoo, but the zookeepers say, we can't put you in here because we don't know what you are. They're very close-minded. You know, it's whatever is normally in the zoo is in the zoo, not things like this. So throughout the book, these two kids are talking to him, and he's showing them everything that he can do. How his spots can change color, how he can put spots on walls, on them, and he just kind of amazes them because it's something different that they haven't seen. They don't think that way. They don't think that there is something like this because usually there isn't. So this kind of is a postmodern theory as well. And the last one is green eggs and ham. Simply because in real life eggs are yellow and white, whereas in Dr. Seuss's book they're green. So it kind of opens their mind to a different color perception for ordinary things in reality. So that's basically what I learned from postmodern literary theory. I really hope what I showed you gave you a lot of information, and I hope that I made it easy for you to understand. Dr. Seuss was how I really understood this topic, because there was a lot of meat to this. So I hope you learned a lot, and yeah.